Yep, 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 yep. Ding, ding, let's go. So, I'm reflecting on people in my life, people that are close to me, that are agnostic, if not atheists, or they're like, I'm not sure, man. And, they haven't explicitly said these things, but they're giving off the vibes of like, man, this life is crazy and saddening and maddening and tough. Like, what do you mean there's a God? It doesn't seem like it. I don't see it. This looks like just a bunch of bouncing atoms going chaotically all around. And I can't seem to make sense of it. I can't seem to come to terms with it. It's ridiculous. And I don't feel good about myself, about my life, and all these things. And I can empathize with it to an extent because, especially if you were brought up in a religion and you were told all of these things, given all of these expectations of what living life is supposed to be, what God is supposed to be, I can empathize with that, where you're like, hey, God's supposed to be good and helping everybody out. I don't see it in my life and the world. I don't see it. It's a bunch of chaos and turmoil and nefarious, dangerous, murderous things. I don't see it. So yeah, I can empathize with that to an extent. But this will be going into the topic at hand, which is, it's our job, it's our responsibility to take things into perspective, take the BS of our life and not make it so big. And then in turn, eventually, in bits and pieces, where it feels authentic, moving towards the things that are wholesome, soulsome, miraculous, legitimately awe-inspiring, legitimately amazing. Considering things like, hey, the fact that I was born, that's a miracle. The fact that the sun and the moon and the earth encompass all of these elements that make human life possible. And there can be balance to it. But that goes back to our responsibility, our accountability, our self-boosting, our self-challenging. We have to put the work into it to keep these miracles going into more fruition, into balance. It's our job. So, if you were growing up in a religious situation where we thought, well, God's just going to handle all of it, the Messiah is just going to come back and clear everything up, that's eliminating responsibility. So there are forces that are helping us. But we gotta meet these forces halfway. And one could even argue, once you're in a mindset, once you're in a beingness of helping ourselves, it's not even a 50-50 anymore. It becomes sort of a 30-70, where we're putting it in 30%, and then these forces, as we're setting our reticular activating system to look for opportunities, for invitations that will actually help us. The 70%, it comes in and it helps us. But we gotta make that push. We have to face the challenges, the internal challenges and external challenges that come up, to face them and to say, okay, this is my life. This is for me. This is life showing me things. I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to do what seems like needs to be done. Bada bing, bada boom. We make it happen, and then life makes it happen. It's a two-way street. So, it's like, if you're an agnostic or an atheist, I feel for you. But at the same time, cut it out. Open your eyes. All of these things are happening. All of these opportunities are presenting themselves. Especially if you're in a first world country. It may not be easy to switch to another job if you feel like that's what's needed. But if you feel that's what's needed, make a smooth transition. Same thing with relationships. Friend relationships, family relationships, romantic relationships. If something's not working, it's our responsibility, our opportunity to speak up, to make necessary moves, slowly but surely. It may not be easy, it rarely is, but if you feel that in your heart and soul, this necessary faculty that we have of intuition, of gusto, you may claim that that feels like it's happening in the gut. So be it. But we're talking at our core. What needs to be done? What small moves in the right direction can I make? Hourly, daily. It's up to us. And a nice little modality that I've remembered that, I've just been getting with and continuing, perpetuating and expanding in my life over the years. It's become second nature. But in realizing that it's not second nature for a lot of people, I feel honored to be able to verbalize this concept of, look, man, if you're feeling down about yourself, down about life, are there pieces, angles of your perception where you're amplifying too much, where you're making a big thing out of it, where you would benefit in making it smaller in your perceptual priority, to make the BS of your life smaller in your perceptual priority, to have the authority to shrink those things and to amplify and expand the things that you see as wholesome and right and good on a heart and soul level. Yeah, you can make the argument like, what is good? Are the laws good? Are my facets, my, tenets of my religion, are they good just because the religion says it's good? No. The short answer is no. Throw all that aside, get in touch with the heart and soul, and you will feel out, and then you will know out, right? You will out the knowing of what's real and true and good and right, righteous. Because you have that ability. Let's not forget our abilities of the gut feeling, the tension, the heart feeling, the tug at the heartstrings of this is, I get this feeling of the moral, the ethical dilemma. Yes, we can watch out for moral relativism, where it's like, is it really right and true and good? You got to feel it out. That is one of the, if not the main responsibilities of the I, the human, with the soul equipped. We feel it out, we discern it, and then we act upon it. We move forward with these inklings, with these breadcrumbs of, I'm feeling it out, I'm discerning it, I'm thinking it out. You can use the mind, but at the end of the day, this is a heart and soul game of what is really the next best move, what are really the best places and spaces and thought forms for me. Where do I need to have my sphere re-angled? Where do I need to shift gears to make my life worth living? Honestly. So I'm sorry if you, through religion or just through your general upbringing, that you were sold a bill of goods on God or the lack thereof in your perception. I'm sorry if you were spun up in a way where you just don't see it, but you can see it. It's just a matter of, through meditation, contemplation, general reflecting throughout the day, where and how are there miracles, inspiration in my daily life? Where are there BS perceptions and thought forms that I'm prioritizing too much, that I'm making too big in my perceptual view? Where do I need to shrink those down, and where do I need to amplify and expand the actual, real and true, genuine wholesomeness, soulsomeness, the real, the true, the loving, the caring realities? They are there. We just have to do that work in rearranging, reorienting our priorities. And that comes through perception. Where are we? Where do we need to shrink? Where do we need to amplify and expand? How can I view life as the I, as the living, walking, breathing miracle, in action, in form? How can I get there, right? How can I get there? How can I, at the very least, in my sphere of beingness, shift the angle and go in where I truly feel is the better direction? And then beyond that, how can I keep moving in that direction so that life just gets better? Contemplate on that. Reflect on that. Much respect to you, to us, for surviving, for continuing on, for being more and more willing and able to face the challenges, right? That is a step, to just face it, to just know where you're at, to know when things are coming up, that you're facing it, you're acknowledging it, that it's real and true and here and now, instead of procrastinating, instead of redirecting, instead of distracting, facing it, knowing that it's there, and then in aligning at our self, our true self, core self, heart and soul level, feeling out what is the next best step, what are the next best steps, how can I perceive it without deluding myself in staying authentic and genuine, and then moving forward. So much respect to you for making those moves, making it happen. And then certainly much respect to all of these individual, societal, and cosmic elements, right? The elements, the senses, our faculties, mind, emotion, soul, body, that are given to us, all of the survival dynamics on Earth, including the atmosphere, including the sun, that are keeping us alive. Water, fire, air, earth, ether. The prefrontal lobe for us to really work things out, for us to have metacognition, will. The reticular activating system for us to perceive better, for us to make it all happen. All these as gifts given to us by God. Whatever else you want to call it, the universe, the cosmos, we are given all of these gifts. And we're here right now showing some damn respect. This is Mr. Mike. Catch you later.